And that's why I thought gonorrhea would have just been a better name for diarrhea medicine.
Stupid. That's disgusting. So much energy. Put in your booby rocks. Live your best life. Keep doing you. So much energy. Let's stick together with some high kicks. Bow, bow. All right, everybody, welcome back to this episode. So much energy. I'm your host, Jenny McKinney, and I'm here with Spotty Wi-Fi guy.
Jen, you got a sketchy Wi-Fi signal right now. I don't know if my neighbors changed their password or what.
Yeah. Gotta get through all those cornfields over there. Dang it.
If I have to, I'll go sit in the backyard.
Yep. Like Cousin Eddie. And we're back. I just smelled somebody's laundry outside. It smelled pretty good. Then I realized, oh, it's here. I can smell the dryer. Side of the back room. Oh, man. Isn't that great? Like when you walk by somebody's house and smell something like really good.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, man, what are they cooking over there?
That or flowers. Like sometimes I walk uptown, you get like a whiff of like lilacs or something cool.
Yeah. That's the one thing I love about having a Jeep. Like when you can take the top off or like on a motorcycle, you can smell like all the smells, but like the temperature changes and then like it's really good. Or sometimes the car in front of you is doing stuff they shouldn't be while driving. And then just because you're doing it doesn't mean I want to do it.
Yeah, that we have a family just moved in uptown. I don't think they'll be here very long. But they just moved in uptown. They burn garbage. Yeah.
Oh.
In 2023, just taking garbage out to the burn pit and lighting it on fire.
Oh. Is that legal now? Seems like
I'm not
with Michigan
sure.
being that dry, it shouldn't be legal.
There's people on the DPW that were complaining about it, so I think they're looking into it and dealing with it. But we have smelled it at our end of town because the wind comes from that way to this way. But it's really bad when you're uptown.
Dang.
And I would almost go as far to say if it's every day, if not every other day.
Oh my God.
Yep.
That is too much. Too much burnage.
Chances are they won't be here very long.
Not fitting in, man.
No.
Not
Not at all.
Terrible. So, we came up for a quick little trip for Peanut's birthday. She had a Shrek-themed birthday party. What's it called when you have like it's the like your birth date is the same as your age? Is there a name for that?
No. Coincidence?
Like, you know, like she's 26 on the 26th.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know if there's an...
Is there like your golden birthday or something?
I'd say chance in a lifetime. It's like once in a lifetime.
Yeah, but at some point you're going to be the age of your birthday.
Right, but only once.
Yeah.
Like mine's on the 6th, but I was only 6 one time.
Yeah.
Yes.
But for 365 days you were 6.
But on that day.
Yeah.
It was the same, but that was once in a lifetime. That's not going to happen again.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So she had a Shrek-themed birthday party, and people came over dressed up as Shrek characters.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Is anybody gingy?
No! That would have been so funny.
That's
but she had really fun snacks and food there. So we did, they were called like rat kebabs or rat skewers. And really it's like chicken nugget, then like a little mini waffle, and then a chicken nugget and a mini waffle and a chicken nugget. And then she had hot honey, which sounded like a good time, like spicy honey, except then when people get drunk and then there's honey all over your house, then it's sticky like a Waffle House floor.
Gotcha.
Gross.
That is gross.
So I've stayed with mom and dad here.
Yep, I thought that room looked familiar.
Yeah, our old bedroom.
Is that the one at the end of the hall?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Been staying here, hanging out with dad. Dad got some new surround sound. Very excited about
Did he get it working?
Yes.
Did he get new surround sound, or
Yes.
did he get the surround sound working that he had?
Josh bought him new surround sound and hooked it up.
Oh, nice.
And it's good to go. And then he took so Dad had old speakers all up in the house and like painted over them and the wires. And so today
Wires have been painted over so many times.
Yeah, he took the shelves down and sanded and all that. I talked to him about doing something tomorrow, and he said, oh, I got a dentist appointment. And then he's like, they didn't even call me. They canceled the house phone. And I was like, didn't you cancel your house phone? So that's the only number. He's like, oh yeah, let me call. So he calls, and he's trying to verify his dental appointment. And she's like, oh, okay, so you don't have that number anymore? He's like, no, we don't have that number anymore. We took the phone right off the wall. Like
that assures it's not coming back.
That lady did not need to know that. That had nothing to do with this phone call. Too much information there, Ronnie.
I hope she put that in his file. Do not call this number. There's no phone on the wall.
Yeah, no phone on the wall. Oh, stupid.
He does give out that kind of information, just extra information.
Yeah, it's too much. Yep. Yeah. So they have a mole problem in the yard now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty serious. Ronnie takes Ronnie's grass normally looks like it should be like in a Golf Digest magazine, for like plush lawn.
Even right now, when I was over there over the weekend, every yard had dead grass in it except his. Every
single yard. And then he has put the sprinkler on it so that it sprinkles in a straight line. And so it is right on the line of the neighbor's.
Line. Like his neighbor doesn't even get 3 blades of green grass where the water might trickle over. I thought that was odd when I was over there, that there is a definite line between his yard and both neighbors.
Yeah. So he said, hey, can you tell where the sprinkler stopped? And then he makes that stupid face like, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's too much, that
it
guy.
Is.
Yeah.
Yep. He needs to live like on a farm with like 20 acres. Like the amount of outdoor projects he wants to do, he needs. The problem is, he was even telling me over the weekend that he planted trees years ago to give him something to water, and then he gets to rake up some of the leaves, and then out of boredom he cut them down.
Yeah.
That's why there's no trees in his yard now.
He said he went up to the hardware store where the feed is, and he didn't want to buy a whole bale of hay because he's got some plain grass spots. He's trying to grow grass in the backyard. He didn't want to buy a whole bale of hay, so we went up there and saw that where they store the straw, that it had spilled.
Pick some up off the ground.
Yeah, it spilled. So he's like, "Hi." He goes up to the hardware and he's like, "Hey, can I pick that up off the ground out there? Can I just take that?" And then they were like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Oh, sweet." So he takes like a whole garbage bag out there and picks up a whole garbage bag full, which is probably more than the whole hay bale that he would have bought,
I wish. Yeah, and if he would have called me right now, actually for the past week, I've had a bale and a half just sitting in my backyard. I bought too much when I put down a bunch over where I planted grass, where the garden was. I planted grass and put it there, and I bought enough for that in the chicken coop.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure how much I was going to use on the lawn, and I got a bale and a half left.
Oh my gosh. Peanut needed some decoration paper, and she's like, "Hey, let's run over to Home Depot because they have contractor paper that you can just get off the roll."
Yeah,
like in the contractor area. Yeah.
Yep.
So she was making like a door, like a Shrek door. And then she made like far, far away signs, and we went up there and she just grabbed some off the roll.
Oh yeah. Dad's come home from work before and been like, "Hey, come with me." And I'm like, "All right, where are we going?" He's like, "Just go for a ride." We get in the car, and I'm like, "Where are we going?" He's like, "I need to drive around until I find a mud flap off a semi." I go, "That's pretty specific. What for?" He's like, "I need a piece of rubber to put underneath my air compressor so it doesn't vibrate so much." Yeah. We drove around, Jen, until we found a mud flap that fell off of a semi at some point, and we found it. It took probably 20 minutes. I'm not even making that up. There's been times where Dad has come home and he picked up Bob and I, both of us.
Yeah, that's our cousin.
Our cousin. This was back in the 90s. He made us get in the bed of the pickup truck because he was going to run us up into Lake Orion to help him. We're like, all right. We get at the light by Buckhorn, and he puts down the back window, and he's like, hey, up here in the median, jump out. There's a 5-gallon bucket and a hat. And I'm like, what? And he's like, oh, I'm going to start. He's like, when the light changes, I'm going to pull up over here. He's like, I'm going to slow down. You guys jump out, grab the bucket and the hat, get back in the bed of the truck. We're like, all right. So he pulls up. I grab the bucket. Bob grabs the hat. We get back in the truck. That was the only reason he came and picked us up. And the bucket was broken and the hat was disgusting. Who's just going to wear a hat that you seen on the side of the road? And then a bucket with a big old crack in it. I knew it was cracked when I picked it up, but we didn't know why he was having us get it. But he's seen it when he was sitting in traffic on his way home.
Well, I mean, you are doing a little bit of community service by cleaning up.
Well, we did.
Yeah.
We did clean it up.
Hey, get in the car. I'm going to risk your lives.
Yep. For a crappy hat and a broken bucket. Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah. There were times he woke me up on Saturday mornings and we had to go hit a whole bunch of record stores because he wanted to find a specific record. I remember going around looking for Don Henley. I remember him waking me up one Saturday to go find a Don Henley album that was stuck in his head.
Yeah.
Hang on. And the other one, Duran Duran.
Oh.
Hungry Like the Wolf.
Yeah.
We had to go look for that, what record that was on.
Yeah.
He woke me up one Saturday because he had a Pink Floyd song stuck in his head, okay? And I listed off every Pink Floyd album known.
Yeah.
And none of those albums had the song on it. So I'm like, what song are you talking? He's like, let's go to Harmony House. This was in Harmony House. Was still around.
Harmony House?
He's like, let's go to Harmony House. We're going to ask Chops. Remember Chops?
Yeah.
He's like, we're going to go to ask Chops. Chops will know it. We go in there and Dad hums this song. And he, we're talking maybe 8 seconds. And Sam's like, oh, that's on Animals or on Metal, blah, blah, blah. And I go, that's exactly what I said. He's like, yeah, but I believe him. They had the album. We bought it. We were back home.
Chops.
Those are the kind of adventures he'd take us on. Remember him taking us to the flea market? And he would take us to some sketchy ass places down in Pontiac.
Yeah.
Just to save a few cents.
Yep.
Like, oh no, they got really good chain here. And you get out and you're like, is this even a hardware? What is this?
Yeah.
And you go in there. Oh, just sketchy. Tetanus shot waiting to happen.
Yeah.
You felt we were going to get mugged out in the parking lot. But we went in, bought 3 feet of chain, went back home. Because he didn't want to go to the hardware.
We would stop at garage sales that we probably should have never been at. And then he was the type that he was a garage sale sucker, right? Like he'd feel bad. So he'd feel bad and he would feel like he had to buy something. So that's how he just buy something.
I feel like I have to buy something if I stop at any garage sale. I'm not stopping at a garage sale if I don't have cash on me.
Yeah.
So if I'm stopping at a garage sale, I'm buying something. For one, these people sat out there trying to sell their crap all day.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel like we should contribute to them.
Right. And two, a lot of times it's just a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But 1 out of 10 times I stop at a garage sale, do I find something that's like, yes, this is why I stopped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I've bought a drum kit for $75 at a garage sale. I found a handful of guitars that I would buy over the years, and I'm like, I don't even need this guitar, but they're selling it for $50 and I can't just leave it at this garage sale.
Right.
You know, and then on the flip side, there's times I've come home with like half a set of silverware.
Yeah.
I come home and I'm like, do we need this? You know, and it's like, no, where'd you get that? I'm like, I had to buy something at a garage sale. This is what I have.
I had to contribute to their time out there.
Right. I'm going to put this in the garage. I'll smelt it down later.
Yeah.
You know,
I'll donate this. Yeah. I'll put this in our own garage sale.
Yeah. Or something that I know I can just give away to somebody, like a cooler. Like even if we don't need a cooler and I didn't need anything from the garage sale, but they had a nice cooler for $2, I'll pick it up. And then next time someone needs a cooler, here, just keep it.
Yeah. It was $2.
I don't tell them that. I'm just like, yeah, no, obviously we got enough coolers. I didn't need that one. You can have it.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
Garage sale season, though.
It is garage sale season. I just sent out a text blast over the weekend telling the nephews and your sister and them, get your stuff together. We're having a big garage sale at some point. I told them August. I told them the beginning of August because I got too much going on in June and July.
Yeah.
My summers are always, I feel like I do a lot of stuff, but it's like over winter. I keep myself really occupied with like on schedule with like hobbies and just things I got to do with people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then come summer, like everything gets tossed into disarray.
Yeah.
I tell you how I got suckered into pretty much redoing a fire pit in our backyard.
What? No.
I don't even say suckered, but one of my buddies was over and we were sitting there in the back porch and hanging out. And he's like, we were talking about Griff's open house. We've been planning on Griff's open houses in like a month. And so the wife was talking about, she wants to do this in the yard and this. That's why we planted grass, so I can get some grass growing and things like that. And out of nowhere, he's like, what are you guys going to do with the fire pit? There's nothing wrong with our fire pit.
Yeah.
And
were you like,
why? What's up?
He's
like, I meant for the open house. He's like, are you going to replace the wood or anything? No, I wasn't planning on it. He's like, it's easy. He's like, we could replace that wood, tear out. I got a whole bunch of patio stones all around it that Dad took out of his house, and he just dropped off over here when I was at work.
He's like, here, you're going to use it.
Right. This was like 5 years ago. And a buddy of mine was hanging out when we pulled in after work, and he's like, what are all these patio stones? I go, well, they look like they came from a parent's house. And he's like, what are you doing with them? I go, I know as much about them as you do right now.
Yeah.
And he's like, you want to put them around your fire pit? I go, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. So we put them all around our fire pit. So out of nowhere, my buddy different buddy was like, you going to replace that wood or anything? I go, no, why would I be doing that? That's not like anything on my list to get done before the open house right now. I got a whole list of stuff I got to do. And he's like, we could just tear that wood out, throw down some stone. He's like, it'd look a lot nicer and it wouldn't be that hard. All of a sudden, the wife's like, yeah, you guys should do that. Oh, should we?
Yeah.
So then this weekend, he calls and he's like, hey, do you want to go get some wood, replace the wood around the fire pit? I go, yeah, we can do that. He's like, all right, pick me up. So I pick him up. We go to the depot. I buy the wood I need. I didn't need very much because I had a lot of it already around here.
Yeah.
Like treated 4x4s and stuff. Like I had a lot more than I thought I would just have kicking around of treated 4x4s. It was great. I needed 8. I had 5 kicking around.
Shoot.
So I had to go there. I'm like, I only need three boards and this and that. And he's like, all right, pick me up. So I pick him up, and on the way back, he's like, hey, you want to drop me off at my house? I go, all right. I go, you coming down? He's like, yeah. He's like, I just got to do a little bit of shit and then I'll be down. I'm like, all right, perfect. Never seen him, Jen. He didn't show up that day. So I got all the wood tore out by myself, all the wood cut. Did I just get the wood put down? It took me 6 hours of shoveling busted concrete. That's what underneath the patio stones I had put down years ago.
Yeah.
It was like busted concrete and busted asphalt around this 15-foot circle.
Yeah.
It's like a big 15-foot octagon that people had used for an above-ground pool. And so they had filled it in with busted concrete and busted asphalt. Then they covered it with sand. Right underneath that layer of sand, busted concrete and asphalt. It took me 6 hours, Jen, of shoveling concrete out of my fire pit for a project my buddy signed me up for.
That didn't even show up.
Show back up.
That
so
sounds
I sat
like,
there, put all the wood down. Took 6 hours to get all the busted concrete and asphalt out of there, and I got it leveled. And I have matting now to put down. You can put down canvas matting to keep weeds from coming through. And I'm just going to go pick up a couple yards of this nice, I don't know, I've looked up the gravel I want at this place. It's like beige.
Like pebbles?
Yeah, but they're like the size of stones, like a little smaller than golf balls.
Yeah.
But they're beige. That's what I'm going to put all around there. But I didn't want to put that down because I knew it was going to rain on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I waited, and then that's when I cleaned my garage, which was on my list to have done before though.
Shoot.
So
that sounds like when Dad got invited to a family dinner, and he went to Mexican, which
I knew you
Ronnie would not go to a Mexican restaurant in his life, but he was told there was American food there. Come to find out there was not, and the person who told him about it didn't even show up. Yes. So Dad got duped into going there and meeting a bunch of people. Oh, man. Because we said this weekend, we're like, hey, do you want to go to Mexican or Chinese or anything? He's like, oh, you'll never catch me there. And we're like, yeah, until you did. And then you showed up because you thought they had American food. Right? Yep. Right? He got duped. He did get duped. Yeah. That's how they get you. That's how they get you. They just tell you what you want to hear. Yeah. Although this week I did get to go. I went to the wife and I went to the Detroit Symphony Orchestra. Mm-hmm. That was awesome. Back in March, on March 13th, they were selling Detroit Symphony Orchestra tickets because the date was 313, which is the area code for Detroit. Yeah. They were selling Detroit Symphony Orchestra tickets for all $3.13 that day. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so the wife bought us tickets for a couple shows, and one of them just came up last week. Yeah. Really good show.
I mean, it was it sounded so good.
Yeah.
I knew it would sound good because it's, you know what I mean? The DSO, the Detroit Symphony Orchestra.
Yeah.
But in this building with those acoustics, it was so full sounding. It blew my mind.
Did you see they're doing like candlelight shows?
Yep. We got tickets to one of those later in the year. I think November.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it's for a Christmas one or not. I think it's before Thanksgiving, so I'm hoping it's not Christmas, but it might be a Christmas show.
Can't be mad if it is.
Nope, not for $3.13. And the sound though just blew me away. It was amazing.
Yeah,
it was. I loved it. It was the music to a 2001 Space Odyssey.
Oh, sweet!
So it was definitely badass.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good times.
Peanut said that her friend rented out a theater, and she was having a dinosaur-themed birthday party, and they rented out the theater and they played Jurassic Park in the theater. So it was basically like Mystery Science Theater 3000 in the theater for Jurassic Park.
Nice.
Live.
Nice. That would be fun.
That'd be super fun. Yeah. Can you imagine like Dad during the movie? Like, that's cool. Have you been watching anything good on any movies or anything?
Yeah, they released the second season to a show I like a lot. I don't know if you've watched it. It's called Somebody Somewhere.
No.
And it takes place in Kansas. And it's about a lady and her sister and her mom and dad. She gets called back home because there's a family emergency type situation.
Okay.
And now it's a really good show. I wouldn't say like it's heartwarming or that it's a comedy. It's just really good. The writing's really good and the characters come through in the writing. And it's like Somebody Somewhere. It's just like normal people and like what normal people kind of deal with, but it's really entertaining.
Okay.
They released the second season of that. So we went back, watched the first season. Now we're halfway through the second season. It's really good.
Yeah.
I wondered how the second season would be after seeing the first. I'm like, that's a really good show.
Yeah.
Like, did you ever watch, this is a totally different type of show, but another one that blew me away kind of in the same feeling, Dairy Girls?
Yeah.
It was like that when my wife was like, oh, do you want to watch Dairy Girls? And I'm like, I don't know. I guess that looks like something I'd watch. And then it was so good.
So good. The nun on there would crack me right up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The girl with the long brown hair with the spiral, and she's like real sassy.
Yes.
She was on the Great British Bake Off, and she's like, I'm over here zesting.
Their accents crack me up on that show.
So every time Josh and I are doing lemons now, we're like, I'm over here zesting.
Zesting. Nice.
Yeah, Dairy Girls, real good show.
I've been watching a little bit of Grand Prix. It's like racing.
Yeah.
Chuck and I last week went to the Detroit Grand Prix, which was the first time it'd been in Detroit since I think 1983.
Yeah.
Something like that. It was the first time it's been on Belle Isle, which is just off of Detroit there. But it's the first time they actually raced back in the city, through the city streets. Like the straightaway was straight down Jefferson Avenue.
Yeah.
Three-quarter of a mile. Hitting 248 miles an hour.
Dang.
Oh, yeah. So we went to that. It was the first time I'd been back here. Chuck bought us tickets for really good seats. We did the whole weekend, was there the whole weekend. We got weekend tickets, seen all the cars in the pits, looked at a lot of stuff, it was great. What blew me away, and this is what really got me watching it like on YouTube, videos I could find of other races and stuff from the season so I can get caught up now. Some of them racers are like 16. One racer who we were actually rooting for in a different race, this isn't for the INSA, and we were rooting for this one car just because the day before on Saturday he should have won, and then on the very last turn, like something happened in his car and it just quit moving.
Oh no!
Like locked up and stopped on him, and everybody passed him, and we were rooting for this guy the whole race, number 7. And come on Sunday again, he gets to race again, so obviously we were pulling for him to win. We knew he was fast. He did great the day before. He didn't come in first, but he started in like 28th, made his way, I believe, up to 4th.
Shoot!
Let's find out. Guess how old that kid is? 14.
What?
I had no idea. I thought I was rooting for a full-grown man.
What?
This kid was 14.
14.
Yes. Mind blown. Mine was blown.
14. Can you imagine? Like, what were we doing at 14? Not racing cars.
Nope. No, I don't even want to talk about what I was doing at 14.
Yeah.
But Yeah. So I've been going back watching videos of the season, things like that.
Yeah.
Our online racing season just came to an end.
You okay?
Because we were part of another online race league.
Okay.
It went really well. They were endurance races, so the races were like anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours. Chuck Chuck sent me the rankings from the season. I didn't do very well. I only made a few races. Josh only made a few races, so I think he's ranked kind of low above me, but I think we're still in the back of the pack. Chuck did the best. He made the most races out of all three of us.
Yeah. I know. I'm excited for this week and the graduation open house is coming up and seeing everybody. And man, it was pretty chilly today. Today was cold.
It was very chilly. Very chilly. Yeah. And where we're working is like it's inside of a food factory.
Oh, shoot.
It's like working inside a fridge.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say a freezer because it wasn't like 32 degrees, but it was definitely like cold as all get out in there.
Yeah.
Then you come outside and it felt just as cold.
Just the same.
Yep.
It was room temperature.
A little bit warmer outside, but not by much.
Right.
It sucks we're replacing this drive shaft and this like industrial sized pizza oven.
Yeah.
You know, like Little Caesars has like wherever they put pizzas on and they go through like an oven.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that, but 150 feet.
Shoot.
Yep. So we had to pull out the conveyor belt that the pizzas actually ride on.
Yeah.
It's like 20 feet wide by 150 feet long through this oven. We had to take that whole conveyor system out because we had to replace the drive shaft.
And it's really for pizzas?
Yeah. I don't want to say the name of the pizza company, but it's not a major brand. It's local.
Remember when Little Caesars had pizza and you had to go get that long cardboard box with the paper on the top and they'd staple the paper, but then it would touch all the cheese?
No matter what, you get home and the paper was stuck to it. Yeah, but at least you got two of them.
Yeah.
I always felt like you got so much pizza. Now if they give you like 2 hot readies, you're like, this is just 2 stomach aches.
Oh man, we were driving next to this lady the other day and right in her, she had, you know how like you just look at other people's dash? And I don't know how people drive with like a whole bunch of papers up on their dash or,
I know
you know, a Jeep thing is all the ducks and some people have 4 rows of duck. How do you even see? But I look over and this lady had a Sam's Club size bottle of Pepto just in her, like right in the console, right by her steering wheel to just grab it and chug it. And I was like,
you never know.
Dang. Whoa, to the Pepto. It was too much.
You just need a little something to get her through the day.
I mean, Sam's Club has some crazy things that are gallon size. Do you really need that? You know?
No, but you buy in bulk because you never know when you need a 5-gallon bucket of maple syrup.
I know.
I could buy 1 5-gallon bucket or what? 30, 35 regular bottles of Mrs. Butterworth?
No.
Or just get a 5-gallon bucket.
I don't need the whole chicken coop of eggs. I feel
like I'm buying some of that stuff. I feel like I'm buying a life supply. Like if I buy this much, I don't need to ever purchase this again. And if I do, something happens.
Plus, their ice cream is amazing.
They do. You know which one? I don't know which one it is. It's either Costco or Sam's Club. But there are times where and the only time I consider getting a membership at one of them is when mom buys. They come in this white square bucket. I don't even know, like an eclair, but it's got like ice
pastry.
Cream. Yeah, puff pastry. It's not ice cream, but they're generally almost frozen, so it tastes like ice cream, but I don't think it's supposed to be.
Right.
When she buys those things for like any kind of family get-together type thing, that's when I realized like I need to get a membership there just so I could buy these.
Yeah.
But it'll just go downhill from there.
Yep. I know. I'm like, I don't need a 22-gallon can of corn.
No, you don't.
No. I've seen how it's made.
Right? Or like a paint bucket sized thing of A1.
I don't need all that. I mean, if I was a business, you know, in the A1 business, I would need that. But no,
you know what keeps me limited on A1? Not just the quantity, the price of it. That's what keeps me limited on A1.
Ooh,
but if I had access to like, it's expensive.
Oh.
Yeah.
I haven't bought it in a while.
Yeah. I only use that if I, Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's fancy.
I'm not making it sound like it's like $80 a bottle, like a fine Chardonnay.
Yeah.
But like if I have A1 in the house, things are going good. If I have a reason to eat the A1 in the house, like that means we have pork chops or over excess amounts of hamburger that I can just make and have with A1.
Yeah.
Things like that. That's when the A1 comes out.
Shoot.
Luckily, the kids don't like it. It's one of those things that the kids don't like, so it's just mine.
Yeah.
But if I had access to like a paint can size of A1, that means I'd have to buy a lot more hamburger, a lot more pork chops. I'd make a lot more fries.
Hey, I just wanted to share real quick. I had an astrologer read my birth chart.
Yeah.
And she's also a psychic medium. So she gives like a reading of like your chart and then like other things that come to her. And she's like, hey, would you be open to doing this meditation? And I was like, yeah, that'd be amazing. And so we started doing this meditation, and then she said, okay, take a deep breath. And then she's like, okay, now give yourself a breath. And I don't know, it just was like, had really different energy on like when you take a breath, when you're like, oh, okay, let me take a breath. But like if you say give yourself a breath, it just feels like you're able to breathe deeper. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like if you're like, take it for yourself. Where some people are not good takers, right? But like if you're like, hey, give yourself a deep breath.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh man, that was crazy. Oh, so I just wanted to share that because I thought that was pretty cool. Nice. Like, so if you're on the struggle bus with, taking a deep breath, especially if like energy is high and, you're in the middle of overwhelm and all that. Because I feel like, there's a lot of that right now. Plus also, we talked about how this year is just like people getting into places that they're supposed to be in that they didn't, like maybe you didn't take like a leap of faith, or maybe you're scared because you're comfortable, or, but like a lot of things are happening to people right now where it like shoves them into where they should be. Life events are happening to you or for you, that's why.
Right.
So sometimes it just seems scary and might not feel like it's, why is this happening to me? But the thing is, it's happening for you to get you to where you're supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah. Or whoever you're supposed to be with, or whatever's supposed to be happening. Yeah. All right, Jeffy, good to see you. Thanks for coming out.
Oh, you're coming at me so intense. Thanks for having me, Jen. Great to be here.
All right, Jeffy, we will see you again next week.
All right, not if I see you first.
Well, you'll hear me first before you see me. So will the people at Meyer. It's good to be back with Meyer.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah. All right, we'll see you, Jeff.
All right, rock and roll.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.
Why won't it stop?
I don't know why you're always trying to get the last word.
It will not stop.
It doesn't even say it's recording. I'm joking. It says recording.